that we are we are using, and these applications will be more versatile, and it will be helpful for a micro level planning. So that too is especially in disaster management, it will be greatly helpful. So in this
Sir,
aspect,
presentation, sir,
hello,
presentation ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
hello, hello.
Presentation display ಆಗ್ತದೆ.
No, no, no. I'll display. There is some technical
Okay,
this
sir.
one.
Okay.
So the Zoom is not.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಬಿಡಿ.
I'm just because of the cookie, some cookies correction has to done, and it is not getting connected to my OneDrive. Means Google Drive, it is not getting connected. As soon as I get clear, I will share the the screen. Okay. Actually, this disaster management is quite what to say. It is complicated matter because as you know, the disasters are natural and man induced. So um, when we use the GIS and remote sensing applications, then it will be easier for us to handle these issues, whether it can be a natural disaster or it can be a human induced disaster. From this aspect, we had to know how this GIS and remote sensing applications are so much helpful to us. So first of all, if you look at the major aspects of the GIS and remote sensing, um, just I'm trying to share the screen. Just if you may, because I'm good at sharing in Google Meet, but here some technical slag is there. Anyhow, see, this remote sensing and GIS go hand in hand. GIS is a tool which is a synthesizing of data, and remote sensing means it is a source of data. Remote sensing, as the term remote sensing itself implies, the data that is obtained through remotely sensed device. What is that remotely sensed device? Is satellite. So these satellites are sensing the ground data from the far off in the space, and it is communicating that data to the land station, so land receiving station. From this land receiving station, the processes will be done, and those process data will be, means it will be shared, it will be sold to different research institutes or universities or educational purpose or for planning purpose, everything. So what is the major advantage of this remote sensing is, first of all, it is a technique of obtaining information about an object or an area or phenomena from a far off distance. So the data which is required for us, we need not to go earlier. What we used to do is, if you want to have the information of any place, there were only two options available. Either you go personally to that field and verify what is the fact on the ground, and you had to map it by taking the surveying tools and come back to the office or to the lab, and you had to map it, and the analysis part has to be done. But today it is not like that. Means in what a substitute technology of remote sensing data can be, we can say, topographical maps. The topographical maps were helpful. So surveying, the topographical maps were prepared based on the land surveying. So after the land surveying, the topographical maps have been prepared, and it is prepared for almost all parts of the world. But in some places, it may not be that much detail, and also the detailed data cannot be obtained. Means 1:50,000 scale data is the most commonly available data for throughout the world. But if you want much more minor details, then it was not possible. Other than that, it was total, we had to totally depend on personal visits or through uh, what aeroplane surveying. So these were the techniques and technology that were available prior to the remote sensing technology. So after the remote sensing technology, which has come in a big way for the researchers, we need not to go to the field. So field visits are referring the topographical maps are now totally of, I cannot say no use, but it is almost curtailed. It is almost limited use. So, what is the technology behind the remote sensing? Means the satellite passes the it is nothing but a light or ray. So it is a laser. Means as we get the objects covered or means all of us are we have the digital camera. So the digital camera we can click a photo and we'll get the image of that particular place. So this is almost similar to that kind of a technology, but the technology here is the electromagnetic rays are sent from the satellite images, and these electromagnetic rays are captured. Actually, see, there are two types of technology. One is passive and active. The means during the daytime, the passive sensors work. During the nighttime, active sensors work. Means the rays of the rays of the sun which falls on the surface of the earth will get reflected, and this reflected data is captured. Means the reflected rays will have a different wavelength. That is what we call as the electromagnetic wavelength. These electromagnetic wavelengths are captured by the satellite sensors, and these satellite sensors record it, store it, and it will send it to the land station. So each reflected data will have a different wavelength. Means, say for example, a open soil will have a different wavelength. If it is covered by grass, it will be having a different wavelength. If it is covered by grass, it will be having different wavelength. Likewise, if it is a water body, different wavelength, a building, a different wavelength, a road, different wavelength. So each object will be reflected in different wavelengths. So these different wavelengths are captured by the sensors, and these sensors it will store the information not as a road or not as a plant or a building or a water body. It is only the wavelength. It is from after getting the whole information. It is the work of the scientists and the people who are in the Landsat receiving stations. They had to process the data, and they had to send it for public utility. So this from the public utilization aspect means it cannot be directly given to the public use. So again, it will come to the people like me and others. So what we do, we synthesize this data, and we'll identify, means we supervise, we classify the data, saying that this wavelength is belongs to a plant, a grass, or a mango tree, or a coconut tree, or a soil, or a water body, or a building. So likewise, the wavelengths, based on the wavelengths, it is identified. That means there are two types of classification. One is the supervised classification and unsupervised classification. It is done, means wherever we are comfortable and we can identify the data, the ground elements, just based on its pattern, shape, colors, and other things, we can directly classify it. Where we are not able to classify, then we had to train the training this one, and the software itself will take care of classifying it. So this is what the remote sensing means. It is just putting a high in the sky. Remote sensing means just if you stand on a building, you can see only a small portion of the surrounding area. If you go and stand on a much more taller building, you can see much more larger area. And if you stand over a hillock, you will see much more broader area. So whereas if you are in an aeroplane, you see means our eyes has got a limit. That's what. So you can see from aeroplane, but with the vision, our high visibility will be limited, and we cannot see the ground objects. Whereas the satellites are launched 800 kilometers from the Earth surface. So from there it is capturing. So from the sky, it is capturing all this data. So that is the major advantage of the satellite images. So we can get the information of a very, very vast area from the topmost, means from the space. So a larger area is captured, and we can get, means it is again, there are two types of advantages what we can see. One is the larger area, and also as with regard to the time, means how frequently we can get the data of that particular region. Means and now earlier it used to be 21 days, it was reduced to 6 days. Now we can update the data on a daily basis. Say for example, a building construction is going on, means from the day one of its construction until its completion, we can have the data of the building. So that's how the technology has improvised the ground information. Without going to the field, without going to that area, we can able to get the data or the information of a particular field sitting in our own lab, in sitting in our own convenience. So that is the major advantage of the remote sensing data. Means what types of data we get are all the Earth surface data. Means what all the data that is present, whatever the things that we can see over the land, all this information can be obtained. It is available. So whether it is possible to get the ground, means ground information, means I'm talking about the underground information. It is not possible, but we can make certain inferences, or what approximate inferences of what is present underneath the surface of the soil. Means whether we can find the minerals, the mineral deposits, as well as the underground water, the type of the rock. So all this can be identified. It can be inferenced by through indirect means, not directly. It is not directly given by the satellite. It is through the human knowledge, with analyzing the other surface elements, we can able to predict certain things like the underground water, the mineral composition of the rock, and other things. So this is the limitation. Means whatever the data that is available on the surface there, that can be we can get it from directly from the satellite. And this data, what we get from the satellite, it can be of two conditions. Means one is the false color composition and the true color composition. Means we'll get the false color composition in order to means wherever means now the data is all in false, not in false color composition. It is in the true color composition. And we can also our satellite technology is going much more versatile year by year. Earlier, it used to be 122 kilometers of information used to be shown in a pixel. Pixel means it's a very small bit of digital information. So picture element. So 122 kilometers. From 122, it got reduced to 90. From 92, it got reduced to 30, 30 to 15, 15 to now we are coming in terms of centimeters. So So the data earlier, even a building was not able to be identified by the satellite. Now, even if we keep a pen on the building, that will also be identified by the satellite. So that is the growth of technology. The space means the remote sensing technology has grown to a what much greater level than what it was some 25, 30 years back. So this is the actual situation. Means the source of data is the major requirement for any type of planning, whether it can be a disaster management planning or agriculture planning or urban planning or industrial planning or recreation planning or watershed management or yeah, water resource management. So any type of planning and management, this data is most important. And the source of data means though we get the data from the published material or from the topographical map. So if you say, for example, topographical map, the topographical map, what we have in India is all surveyed during the British period. It is only updated, not resurveyed. So that is the major drawback of topographical maps. And other than topographical maps, we do not have any ground information. So whereas the satellite images are not like that. It is, as I told you, if you mind, we can get every day, means every day it can be surveyed. The same land can be surveyed or captured by the satellite in order to know the changes, the development, negative or positive, negative development or positive development of an place. So this way, we are very much comfortable of getting the true data. Means it is not somebody is giving some human error will be there. No, there is no such type of, say, for example, if you click from your camera, there cannot be any error. Whatever the things that are present in front of the camera, all the things will be captured. In a similar way, this satellite technology is also giving rightful information, a true information. It is, there is no any kind of error, or errors means the errors will occur. Errors will occur if there is some fault in the sensor, or if there is a cloud cover, or if there is the tilting of the camera. So the such kind of errors will come, and that will be taken care by the team or a group of scientists who are working in order to rectify those errors. But other than that, whatever the ground information, if there is a mango tree, means there will be mango tree only. It cannot be a coconut tree. Whereas if I ask to survey some of my students, they may go to the field or may not go to the field, and just by without going visiting, they can also cook the data. Or even if they go to the field also, the locational aspect will not may not be correct. Where the mango tree is there, there the mango tree may not be marked. It may be a coconut tree will be sitting, or where the road is there, the road may not be marked properly. A building may be on the road. So likewise, the human error will not be there if it is from the satellite image. This is the actual advantage of having the satellite images, right? So what best we can make utilize of this satellite image is based on the person's how far is trained in making use of the satellite images. So if you are well trained to make use of the satellite images, then it will be good. There are three aspects that has to be gone in mind. One is first of all, you should be knowing how to use the satellite image. And after getting, means as I said that it is nothing but the source of data. So primary data, a truthful data. So once if you capture that data, you had to analyze. So analyzing the data is another major task. So a person who knows how to get the data or capture the data is one aspect, and analyzing that data is another aspect. So in order to analyze, GIS is very much required. So first of all, once if you capture, because what data is required for a disaster management, or what data is required for water resource management, how to get data. So these are the aspects that has to be borne in mind. And if a candidate could able to, or a scientist could able to do his best to capture the data, the next thing comes after capturing the data, how to synthesize, how to analyze it. So synthesizing the data, the GIS technology is very much required. GIS technology. Without GIS technology, it is not possible for us to get a judicious decisions. Means we cannot make a judicious or rightful decisions or a perfect decision making. So anyhow, we have the data, but without just only having a correct data, we cannot get the proper solution to the an issue. So we had to make a proper synthesize, and this synthesizing the data is again the subject background and the knowledge. Knowledge is very much important. So how to synthesize the data? What are the analyzing techniques that can be adapted or used? That should also be rightfully chosen. So when this kind of mm, process is applied, definitely this GS and remote sensing technology will be of immense help for any type of planning, not only, as I said, disaster management, but also for all the types of planning. So, um, means GS, if coming to GS, what the GS can do? GIS is a geographical information system. So what it can do is it can we can create a layer stack, or the data of the particular field in layers. So what is that? What is the importance of making the layer stack? Means a um, particular land will be having different components, like say for example, if I take the soil, what is the type of soil in that particular region, what is the composition of that particular soil, and what is the plant that is grown in that land, and what is the temperature of that land, what is the humidity present in that land, what is the drainage system, means the river system that is present, the stream paths, and the density of the stream present in that land. So we go on collecting the data for one piece of land, just one 10 by 10 piece of land. If you just take a 10 feet by 10 feet of land, we can collect the information. All the information should be put in a different layers. One only the soil composition, another one soil temperature, another one the humidity, the amount of rainfall, and the next one the plant grown in the region, the water flowing direction. So so the underground water. So likewise, we can just build a data in layers. This is what the geographical information is of that particular piece of land. So how it is helpful means, when we have a data stored in the form of a layers of each information in a different layers, it will be helpful for us to make analysis and say this particular land is suitable for ragi cultivation, or paddy cultivation, or wheat cultivation, or apple cultivation, or strawberry cultivation, or whatever the means. It is based on that information we can able to give a rightful direction or guidance to the farming community in order to make use of the land to the best of its resources. So this is how we can use the GIS technology, because as I am explaining, it is not that easy. But once if you get trained and start using the technology, you will be really enjoying it, and you will come to know the importance, the significance, and its the strength of this technology. So GIS technology is an added advantage. See, we have the remote sensing exact data and the land data, and the land data, all the data what I said now, whether it can be temperature or whether it can be soil composition or whether it can be rainfall data, everything is available now through satellite technology. So once if we get the accurate data of that land, that will be really an asset. It will be a really good means of valuable data, and that can be used for many purposes, not only for agriculture. It can be used for even water management also, how the land can be utilized with very less amount of rainfall. So it all depends upon the person's expertise in the field. So if a person who is expertise is in a water resource management, you will use it in a different way. If a person is expertise in what chemical analysis, you will do it in a different way. So this is how data that is captured by the satellite will be synthesized applying the GIS technology. So this way we can make a big deal of what analysis. So just I will take a few minutes in order to, instead of I am using my laptop, there is some problem. I'll connect through my mobile, and I can show some of these slides. Okay, just give me a few minutes. I'll just ask our HRD to uh, make me to join.
ಅನಂತ ನಾಗೇಶ್ವರ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ನಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನ್ ಸರ್ ಮಲಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಿ?
ಮಲಗಿದ್ದಾರ ನೆಬ್ಬಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಲಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಲಗಿ
ನಿದ್ದೆ ಜೋರ ಅನಂತಾಗ.
ನಮಗೂ ಕಾಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮಲಗಿದಾರ ನೆಬ್ಸೋದು.
ಸುಳ್ಪಡೆಯಪ್ಪದ ಕಾರಣ ಮಹಾಜಿರಂಗದೋಳ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾರಿಗೂ ಒಂದೊಂದ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಸರ್?
What is the siren? Any disaster is happening there?
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sir. Yes, very much.
Okay. So all of you are from Karnataka, or is there any candidate who is outside Karnataka?
Yeah, outside Karnataka, three participants are there, sir.
Okay. Then I have to speak in English. So in the meantime, you can means in case if there is any difficulty in understanding, I can speak in Kannada also. And I hope you have understood what is the importance of the remote sensing data as well as the GIS technology, right? Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
So Chandrasekhar is also present there.
Yes, sir. I am here.
So this is the last day, or you have one more day to go?
Tomorrow is the last.
It's okay. Now I'm connected through my mobile.
Yes, sir. You definitely, sir, you proved without slides and video clips. You proved as a good resource person.
What?
Even without the support of slides and video clips, your lecture is so smooth.
I didn't get you properly. Sorry.
Slide share ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರಿ.
ಅದಲ್ಲದೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ಝೂಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಶೇರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರದ್ದೇ ಆದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಲಿಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು.
ಸರ್ ಮೊದಲು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
ವಿಡಿಯೋ
ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್. ಝೂಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹತ್ರ
ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆನ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಕಮ್ ಟು ದ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಸರ್.
Wait.